The SPSA AUT is a variant of the SPSA 14 that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Call of Pripyat. At first it appeared in Clear Sky as a semi-automatic shotgun that was made only in duty workshops, purpose-built for fighting swarms of monsters. An improved cartridge feed mechanism ensured a better rate of fire and amazing groupings when using short ammo. An extended magazine holds up to 10 12 per 70mm rounds. The weapon was described as a SPSA 14 made exclusively in duty workshops, optimized for fighting against hordes of mutants. Based on its description, it was meant to have a better rate of fire and magazine capacity than the stock SPSA 14. It may also have been unable to fire 12 per 76 dart and 12 per 76 slug rounds. As with all other cut weapon variants of the game, the only remnants of this weapon are its name and description found in the Items Weapons XML file. The variant was meant to return in Call of Pripyat, but it was cut from the final release once more. Its description suggests it was meant to have the same differences compared to the stock SPSA 14 that it did in Clear Sky. It bears similarities with the Carbiner, a unique SPSA 14 sold by Nimble in-game. As with its Clear Sky counterpart, the only remnants of this weapon are its name and description found in the items/weapons.xml file. The Big Ben. The Big Ben is a unique weapon featured in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. It was also cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. The Big Ben is by far the most powerful pistol of the game, its damage value being close to the one of the Vintar BS sniper rifle. This made the weapon very valuable as a sidearm, as its stopping power is quickly capable of taking down enemies thanks to high bullet penetration and damage. Like a regular Black Kite, it has heavy recoil and a quite low fire rate, although it's still balanced by the fairly high damage per shot. The Big Ben was scheduled to make a return in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. Unlike in Shadow of Chernobyl, it was meant to use .45 ACP ammunition, just like the standard Black Kite, but with better stopping power. As with all the cut weapon variants of the game, the only remnants of this weapon are its name, ST-VPN Eagle M1, and description, ST-VPN Eagle M1 Desker, found in the Items Weapons XML file. Bozar. The Bozar is a weapon that was partially implemented and included in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. The Bozar is a partially finished weapon which existed within Clear Sky's code. Code-wise, it is technically a variant of the RP-74, albeit vastly different. Rather than functioning as an automatic machine gun, the Bozar operates in a semi-automatic mode similar to a shotgun, firing 10 rounds in a confined spread simultaneously. Unlike other shotguns, each shot uses 10 rounds of ammunition at once. Recoil for the weapon is large as well as having a random directional element. Specifically, firing the weapon may turn the player horizontally as well as vertically. It also dampens the player's turning movement to a far greater degree than the RP-74 and allows use of the iron sights and fired the unused 1.2023 FMG round. Although the Bozar uses this RP-74 icon when in inventory, in-game, it appears identical to the SVDM2, except that while held, it does not have a scope. If dropped to the ground, it would appear to have a scope. The weapon remains active in existing game code, but is not carried by any S.T.A.L.K.E.R or available for purchase from any merchants. All text for the weapon, both name and description, are blank, displaying only the variable names used. VPN Bozar. The FNP90. The FNP90 is a weapon that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. The only remnants of the P90 are some of the weapon's shape and texture files, scattered code references to its presumed object name, as well as entries relatable to both types of 5.7 per 28mm ammunition. Curiously, the model is incomplete compared to the version present in build 9035. The sighting assembly on top of the weapon was not fully constructed, having only one detached piece of the assembly that floats above the rest of the weapon where the side mount should be. The weapon was mentioned as one of the 6 new weapons in the Arnold Chisel design document. The file containing texture settings can be found in build 3120, which suggests it was being worked on but ultimately never appeared in the game. .2023 Pistol. The .2023 pistol is a weapon that is partially included in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. The .2023 pistol appears to be a variant of the UDP Compact, visually identical in game and in inventory to the USP, rechambered somehow for the unused .2023 FMG round. The rechambering appears to have come at the cost of capacity. The 2023 pistol has a small 5-round magazine. The pistol also varies from the UDP compact in a number of other ways. It has a smaller FOV when using iron sights, far greater accuracy, longer maximum fire distance, a vastly higher bullet speed, and much lower durability. It is not able to be upgraded by any technician because it uses ammunition with a higher degree of armor-piercing effect. It is arguably one of the most effective pistols available. The 2023 pistol only exists in Clear Sky and is not normally found in the game. The weapon remains active in existing game code, but is not carried by any stalker or available for purchase from any merchants. All text for the weapon, both name and description, are blank, displaying only the variables names used. The Jackhammer MK3A1. The Jackhammer MK3A1 is an automatic shotgun that was supposed to appear in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky, but was never realized even as a basic model. The weapon was a famous prototype, never entering full production in real life, that was also featured in the contemporary game Fallout 2, much like two other weapons that did get coded as Easter eggs in Clear Sky, the Bozar and the 2023 pistol. The 4A14. The 4A14 is a variant of the 4A12 that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. Just like the 4A15 from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl, the 4A14 has a higher mag capacity, 14 rounds instead of the default 12. As with all other cut weapons, the only remnants of this weapon are its name and description, found in the items weapons.xml file. The AKV-74. The AKV-74 is a variant of the AKM-74-2 that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. The variant of the AKM-74-2 was meant to have its fire rate improved by 100 rounds per minute, making the weapon very similar to the fast-shooting AKM-74-2 found in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. However, unlike the fast-shooting AKM, it had some of its components removed, rendering the issue of a PSO-1 scope impossible. As with all other cut weapon variants of the game, the only remnants of this weapon are its name and description found in the itemsweapons.xml file. The Viper 5M, a modified version of the Viper submachine gun. Thanks to better component alignment, this weapon has a higher muzzle velocity, uses 19mm ammo. The Viper 5M is a variant of the Viper 5 that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. It was supposed to be a modified Viper 5M, and this variant would have improved bullet velocity compared to the original model. As with all other cut weapon variants of the game, the only remnants of this weapon are its name and description found in the items/weapons XML file. FNP90. The FNP90 is a weapon that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl and S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky. Though the weapon is not implemented nor available, a complete P90 model and associated textures are available within build 9035. The build also includes textures for the weapon's inventory icon, as well as models and inventory icon textures for the associated 5.7 per 28mm FMG and 5.7 per 28mm AP ammunition. Within Shadow of Chernobyl, the only remnants of the P90 are some of the weapon's shape and texture files, in-game model and texture only, and scattered code references to its presumed object name, as well as entries related to both types of 5.7 per 28mm ammunition. Curiously, the model is incomplete compared to the version present in build 9035. The sighting assembly on top of the weapon is not fully constructed, having only one detached piece of the assembly that floats above the rest of the weapon where the sight mount should be. The weapon was mentioned as one of the 6 new weapons in the Honor Chisel design document. The THM file containing texture settings can be found in build 3120, which suggests it was being worked on but ultimately never appeared in the game. The Farshooter SVDM2. The Farshooter SVDM2 is a variant of the SVDM2M that was cut from the final version of S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. The Farshooter SVDM2 features are the enhanced scope zoom capability and the recoil decrease. However, the variant also has less reliability than a standard SVDM2. The weapon was cut from the final version of Shadow of Chernobyl, but the weapon is still fully operational within the game's code, meaning one could spawn it with the help of modifications. The rifle is the target of a mission, S.T.A.L.K.E.R the sniper rifle, that was also cut from Shadow of Chernobyl. Although it's not explicitly stated in the mission text file, its description, decreased recoil, better scope, etc. best fits the rifle. The M134 minigun. The M134 minigun is a weapon that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl, and it appeared in builds 1098, 1114, and 1154. the minigun intended to be in Oblivion Lost, the very early name of Shadow of Chernobyl. The minigun survived through many early builds, but was finally cut from the final version. The weapon was introduced in build 1098 and appeared in the subsequent builds 1114 and 1154. The weapon is not available to the player, but a texture file remains with Shadow of Chernobyl and build 1935 game files. The weapon makes a minor appearance in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky in the background of the main menu. The Bulldog 6 M209. The Bulldog 6 M209 is a unique weapon that was cut from S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. The weapon is a variant of the Bulldog 6 grenade launcher, modified to fire M203 grenades. As well, it is the most durable weapon of the game alongside the Gauss gun, taking exactly 100,000 shots to fully degrade. This weapon was cut from Shadow of Chernobyl and is only available through modding. All the files or references for it are in place, indicating that it was meant to be included but never was. The MAC-10. The MAC-10 is a weapon that was partially implemented and included in S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. The MAC-10 as a concept was introduced during development in 2004, though only its configuration file was ever created and no assets such as an inventory icons or models were designed. The MAC-10 configuration file is based on an older version of the AKM74-2 file. In-game, the MAC-10 appears as an AKM74-2 with various unusual properties, due to the configuration having been written for an older engine version. In particular, the MAC-10 deals 5000 damage per shot. For comparison, the Gauss gun deals a mere 135 damage per shot. The MAC-10 also has higher recoil. As well, the MAC-10 is extremely durable, able to fire even when highly damaged without jamming. The weapon takes 33,333 shots to fully degrade. The MAC-10 can also mount a PSO-1 scope and a silencer by default. The MAC-10 has no in-game description, meaning it will show up as MAC-10 just like the weapon's name. There is no existing model nor animation for the weapon, as it reuses the model sounds and animations for the AKM74-2M. As a cut weapon, the MAC-10 does not exist anywhere in the game. It can only be obtained with the use of modifications.